Okay, you guys, last night something extraordinary happened. I actually had a breakthrough on something I've been searching for my whole life. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I consume in my spiritual development. I have my consumption of choice is, and the platform of choice is YouTube. And I've actually had people laugh at me, so I got to be careful with who I tell that I'm on this journey. I have to be careful who I share this stuff with, because people are like, because I tell people that I've been studying for the past 2 years since I have become awoken, and people are like, what have you been studying? And I'm saying, and they actually say, what, YouTube? And I was like, yeah. And they scoff at that. And but anyway, totally besides the point. I have been asking, just like everybody else asks, what in the ever loving am I supposed to be doing here on this planet? What am I supposed to be learning? What is this all about? You guys, I grew up in a very evangelistic home, very lot of shame, condemnation. If you didn't behave a certain way, you were ostracized. You were, cut off from the family, that kind of crap. We're not Italian, though. We're not. I love Italian people. But anyway, so, and I knew that even when I was little, I had something in me that was meant for more. I didn't quite know what it was, but I would, as a kid, I would have those video recorders, not video recorders, but audio recorders. I would take them to my college classes and just like have anyway, I would have the recorder and I would just record into it. And I would act like I was being interviewed by somebody. Like I was on Letterman or something like that. And I would be, the host was asking me questions about like, well, who inspired you to do what you do, and da da da. And so I was answering these questions from this imagined person. And I'd be like, well, I love da 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 da, and I was inspired by such and such. And so I knew that there was going to be some kind of something, as far as I'd be interviewed about something that I do. But I didn't come to remember that until I saw a video one time, and they were like, if you ever want to know what you're going to do if you ever know what you're supposed to be doing, think back and what woke you up as a kid, like what made you excited as a kid. So last night, actually this didn't just happen overnight. This has been consistently a growing situation for me over the past 2 years. So last night, and I can share the build up to you later, but the whole reason I really feel the urgency to make this video is right now there are people who, because I'm one of them, I'm in this with you. I'm a part of the collective, and there are energies around right now that are making us question if what we have to say is pertinent, if we know enough, if we're good enough, if we're pretty enough, if we are thin enough, if we are going to be taken seriously. And you guys, I have no degree. All I can tell you is that I have experience in what I have experienced I have firsthand knowledge of what my soul has been telling me over the last 2 years. I don't have anything to bring to you other than my testimony, my firsthand first, my experience personally. There was a video that I watched, and the fella that was sharing his testimony, and by the way, we're here for one another. We have to share our testimony. So this is basically me encouraging you to get on it, to do what you know you're called here to do. Put those voices that tell you that you're not good enough, you rebuke them. Straight up. They're falsities, they're lies. They're here to tell you that you're not good enough in some way, some form. Maybe you got scars on your face. Maybe you got scars on your hands. Maybe you got, you fried your hair the other day because you got frustrated because you want to do something different. So you looking kind of effed up. Doesn't matter. I've done videos with no makeup on. I don't care, because the message is more important. Get past what you see. That's the problem. Doesn't matter what you look like. As a matter of fact, I have come to realize that my weight, what I look like, my tattoos, my eyes, my teeth, the very thing that I look like is going to be the reason why I resonate with someone versus someone else. Or why someone resonates with me over someone else. Hell, I got a lazy eye. You can totally see it. I'm so tired because I've been losing sleep over this. I haven't been able to sleep. My lazy eye gets really bad when I haven't slept. Double chin and all, y'all. Don't care. It doesn't even matter about what this avatar looks like. What matters is what's coming from my heart to yours. We're a family here. And we're waking up at different intervals to do our tour of duty. And we're here in waves to wake one another up and share what happened to us so we can wake up the next wave. There were tons of people that I have been watching on YouTube that Spirit has led me to. I'm just not willy-nilly out here looking for nothing. I am using my discernment, and I'm going to tell you the same. Use your discernment. Don't even fucking listen to me. Use your discernment. But this video that I was listening to, this guy was giving his testimony. And the whole video was, what is getting in between you and your greatness? What is getting in between you and merging with the very best version of yourself? The person that you were ordained to be. The person that you said, okay, this is all the experiences that I want to have. I'm going to have these challenges, XYZ parents, and these challenges with these lovers and, grandparents, whoever, bosses, co-workers, friends. I want to have these kind of experiences that are going to sharpen me and shape me and make me into the fighter that I know I'm going to be. Because if we don't have that contrast, we can't break forth into the beasts that we are. Like, and I may not say the beast, because my God, somebody's going to be like, yeah, she's talking about the mark of the beast. No, my God, I grew up in an evangelistic home, and honey, I know all of the shade. So stay out of my DMs. Don't need you. This message is for not for you anyway. So we get contrast in our life to wake us up, to help us fight for ourselves. Nobody's going to do that for us. And I will tell you right now, what I was using as a crutch, and this is going to lead to something, I swear. I was using a crutch to not be my greatest self. And I'm still on my journey. This video is a part of me claiming what belongs to me. I'm not playing small anymore. I'm not going to hide 6 feet deep, so to speak, just so somebody else can feel better about themselves. I'm not going to hide my light and my gifts because somebody told me in the past that I'm not good enough or that I'm not thin enough or whatever the case is for you too. I can only give you my experience and encourage you to get past that crap. Because it's just another tool that negative energy uses to get in your head. And that's the quickest and most efficient way for negative energy to jack with you, is to get us confused, get us all in our head, and we're all torn up in here. Anyway, I realized that this fella had helped me realize that the earliest memory that I had when I was a kid of what was standing in my way, the earliest memory, try to think, all right, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Try to think back and think of what it was in your childhood, and it could be anything, even in your teens. Because I don't remember stuff when I was like 4 or 5. I don't remember much about those development years. My first memories came online about 8 years old. But the thing that first came to my mind was when I came out of my bedroom one day. I am the youngest of 3. My parents are still married. Nobody was home but me and my brother. I come out of the room, my bedroom, and which I shared with my sister at the time, I believe. And he was kneeling down in the living room, distraught. I didn't see literal tears, but his face was wet, and he had his hand cradling his face, and he was just upset. And I'm being the empath, I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on? Are you okay?" He says, "Go to your room." I said, "But something's wrong. Tell me what's wrong." And he yells at me, "Go to your room." Completely dismisses me, doesn't tell me anything. And again, I'm the youngest of 3, so God, I don't know. I don't know how old I was at this time, but I was, maybe 9, 10? I don't know. I go to my room, and I don't come out of my room until I start hearing other people talking in the house. So I'm like, okay, well, my parents are home. I come out of my room, and there's my father, my mother, my sister, and my brother standing in the kitchen. And they all just look like something awful has happened. And my father is on the phone. And he's on one of those, back in the day, and I telling my age here, but like on the phone, there was a wall phone. It would stick to the wall, and it had the long cord, and it was a yellow phone. It's like totally bright canary yellow. And I hear my father say that my Uncle Mike, his younger brother, had hung himself in a car wash that morning. He had driven his motorcycle into the car wash, wrapped a rope around his neck, and some kids that were headed to And I'm just now realizing that, you know, I'm going to have to probably bleep out some stuff here for YouTube. But he had unalived himself. He had driven his motorcycle into a car wash and fashioned a mechanism and kicked the bike out from underneath himself. And he was discovered by two college kids driving to class that morning. That's how I found out about my uncle. I adored my uncle. I was little bitty. And we used to call him Uncle Swig because he would always have to have a swig of everybody's drink. And he would always let us, you know, crawl all over him and everything. He was just the coolest uncle. And he was the baby of 3. My father's the oldest. And this was devastating to all of us. All of us kids loved him. We adored Uncle Swig. So this is my first memory of not being seen, not being heard, and not being considered. Nobody ever took me aside to tell me anything about what death was. And to not know anything about death is one thing, but my God, to hear about a death like that go down with somebody who you really love and admire, and nobody that's supposed to be the ones who your greatest protectors and the ones that's supposed to take care of you, none of them are going to sit you down and try to explain that to you. That's messed up. So what I had to do, as soon as I went through that, and I mean, it was as if I was having this epiphany as I was listening to this fella talk. And I just began to weep. And I just let it all come out, because it finally occurred to me. I have been understated. I have not been paid attention to. I've been discarded, not chosen. Maybe you're tired of not being chosen. Maybe you're tired of not being heard and seen. Maybe you're scared of coming out with your new beliefs. I know I am, or I was, because this isn't the Southern Baptist way, the way I believe now. I'm telling you what, if my parents knew what I believe now, where I believe Spirit has led me in my spiritual path, my spiritual growth, I'm going straight to hell in their beliefs. I don't believe that. With the love and compassion that I have experienced from whatever you want to call it. I call it God. I call it the universe. I call it spirit. I call it sometimes myself, because I am a part of God. I am a part of the great creator. We're all creators. I have a hard time being filmed. I took acting classes to help with that, but it still bothers me. I see myself on the monitor and I'm like, my God, I can't even look at the camera like I'm looking at you because I want to look at you, but I'm too distracted with my own stupid reflection. Like, it's not about me. It's about us. It's about you. So I'm trying to figure out how to cover this thing up. I'm not the most technical person, so forgive me. So I was hearing this and feeling this story replay in my head about what, you know, being that, those feelings of not being seen and heard. And I just cried. I was like, and I've known for a while that this is the issue, but it just hit me in a whole different way. And I think our healing is like a spiral, and we have to revisit those things again to get a little bit deeper healing each time we come around. So allow it. Don't beat yourself up because you haven't healed from something completely the first go around. It's going to take time. This stuff is deep. But as soon as I was feeling those feelings, I grabbed my journal and I just started writing, I deserve to be seen. I deserve to be heard. And I just kept repeating that as long as I felt like I needed to. I deserve to be considered. I deserve to be larger than life. I deserve to be chosen. I deserve to be heard and understood. I deserve to be wanted. I deserve to be great and in the public eye. Whatever you want. I would always play small because my dad's an evangelist, so it's like he was so charismatic and just, you know, he could sell you anything. He was a natural born salesman. His father was a salesman. And it was just understood that you didn't outshine him. And I didn't have, you know, my mother or siblings really cheering me on in the way that it was going to really help nurture me. Hell, I didn't even know what nurturing really felt like until I was just maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I started my healing. But I kept writing down, I deserve love. I deserve to be appreciated. I am more than worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. And then as I sat in that energy and I just let that run through me and the tears fall and all the things, I took about 15-30 minutes later and I started writing affirmations like this. I step into my greatness. I am seen. I am heard. I am chosen. People want and need to hear and see me. I am important to the collective. I have healed from my greatest... What I have healed from is my greatest love story. How I fell in love with me. The greatest love story ever told is the one we tell others about the day we fell in love with ourselves. That's the greatest love story, you guys. The day that you fall in love with yourself. That's the greatest love story ever told. The day we finally decide And this is why I need to get better at this. The day we finally decide to stop feeling unworthy, the day we finally stop being small to please others in our lives, the day we say no more to emotional abuse and neglect, the day we decide I must be my own hero. When you begin to merge with your best self, the best version of you, that is the day that you will have begun the greatest work in you that cannot be stopped. It can't be undone. Once you know this stuff and Spirit reveals it to you, you can't unknow it. You can't go back. And if you do, then you're a willing participant in letting yourself not be a part of the collective. We need you. Don't be a douchebag. We need you. And I'm being like that to you because I'm being like that to myself. Don't be an ass. Get it together. This is a collective effort to raise the vibration of humanity. Everything that is within and upon and around Gaia needs our help. She's playing ball. We need to play ball too. So if you know Spirit is telling you to get out of that job, what are you doing? If you know Spirit is telling you to let that person go because you feel obligated somehow, we've been together for so many years, what am I going to do? Your answer could be right around the corner if you just take that step to do what you know that your soul is telling you to do. I sold my house and quit my job in obedience to Spirit. I don't have the first dang clue as to what's going to happen to me. But every day that goes by, I have a little bit less money in my bank account, but yet somehow my innate grows stronger and stronger, knowing that I am here to do something to help everybody raise their frequency, to help wake us up. What are you doing? Are you going to play ball? You going to you be a participant? And do what you know that you're supposed to be doing? You don't have to have all the answers. Hell, I didn't have the answers when I started all this. I still don't have the answers, y'all. But I know help is coming. I don't know how I know that. I just know that. I used to consume, and still do, YouTube videos on, and I believe that everything that I need to hear, everything that Spirit's trying to tell me, it's being sent to my feed. No doubt. And it has built my courage up to do what I'm doing today. And I don't want you to take my sassiness for like, oh, you're not doing anything. I'm telling you, it takes the littlest, the smallest of steps. You don't have to do anything major because when you're ready, you'll be ready. Excuse me. Oh my God. I'll be burping. Try to just think outside the box a little bit, because I know that for me, money has been a huge component. I mean, we are very emotional when it comes to money. We have been trained in this life to go out there, get an education, get a job, get a career, get you a wife, get you a husband, have some babies, and that's how it goes. But that whole paradigm is really shifting. We're seeing all kinds of structures crumbling as they need to, because the ones that are being built that people aren't really paying attention to, they're going to be solid foundations for the structure of the future. That's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of the structure of the future, because I think futuristically. I think utopian. And I want to work with people who think like Pollyanna. I don't care who thinks it's stupid. If it's not for you, switch the channel and stay out of the DMs, because this is not for you. But the people who are resonating with this, you'll find this video. It'll come across your feed. So I'm talking to the people who need to hear it right now. That tug on your heart that you're feeling, that's you. That's your higher self calling you to your purpose, your higher calling, what you signed up to be here for. When I started out, what really switched it in me was I decided that I deserved better when it came to relationships. I was down to my one last friend. I kept losing jobs. Y'all, I couldn't. I kept losing jobs. I kept losing friends. I was completely detached from my family. I had completely left them. I couldn't deal with them anymore. And I was down to my last friend, and she was starting to, I don't know if she was behaving in new ways or if I was starting to see with new eyes. And I think it's the latter. I decided that I deserved better. I needed to give myself better. And even before that, I had been playing my old pity party record over and over again. The garbage about how I grew up and how I was treated, and not to discount anything that they did, but I was exhausted. Like, you guys, I would actually be, and I talk to myself a lot. I'm alone a lot. So, which, I mean, I think it's totally healthy to talk to yourself, but whatever. I would literally go to speak about something in the privacy of my own home, and I would literally just be so exhausted. I'm like, I can't talk like this. And I would just be like, I can't talk about it. Don't even want to talk about it anymore. Got tired of talking about it. Then the next thing I recalled is, then I just cut everybody off, because I was like, I don't even feel like talking to anybody. So why am I even holding on to anybody in my life? So let everybody go. And then literally a couple months later, some unexpected friends of mine that I had, I mean, you have your inner circle and then you have your outer circle. And it was just, I didn't ever think that they would, I don't know, come through like that. And they totally showed up for me. Helped me sell my house. They helped me gut and clean out the house and get it prepared to sell. So it was, and he helped me, my friends helped me sell my house. So it was like a triple, it's like a triple word score. I'm like, I'm playing, So got out, and I knew I needed to get out of that because there was a lot of depression in that house. So I sold my house and got an apartment, and that's when my healing journey really began. And the first thing that on YouTube that I really got into was tarot, and then that led to near-death experiences, listening to testimonies. And there was this one lady, Penny, that had a near-death experience, and you could tell there was no way that she wanted to be in the public eye. She didn't want to be in the public eye, so it was like she didn't want to have to tell her story, but the very thing that she did not want to do was exactly what was going to be her victory in life. And that's what I'm telling you today. This conversation has come full circle. For me, it was, I need to be seen. And for her, it was the same thing. She hated to be seen. She didn't want to be seen. She wanted to be in her apartment or in her house. And she didn't want to visit with anybody because she had been dealing with a lot of pain and hurt from her ex-husband. And I think maybe some parental figures. I'm not sure. But it was mainly from her ex-husband that had left her and just completely abandoned her and her son. And she had a lot of hurt and resentment about that. And she didn't want to, she just wanted to work and go home. And that was my life too. I would just go to work and come home. I didn't have any fun in my life. I wasn't laughing about anything. I took life so seriously. And so we're not here to stay bottled up. We're here to share with one another and help each other in our journeys. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do today. Tell those negative thoughts to F off, because you don't need them anymore. Those things were here to protect you for a time, but you don't need them anymore. So if you don't want to tell them to F off, just be like, I thank you and I appreciate your assistance, but you're no longer needed here. You're fired. And send it away with, love and compassion and gratitude that it's taught you what you needed to learn, because it was there to protect you at some kind of level for survival mode. But you're protected, spiritually protected now. That you're okay now. It's okay to come out. And I know that if you're hearing me say these things, I know that you've been online or reading books about it. So I'm not saying anything really new to you. But you know what? When I first learned what nurturing was like, because I hadn't really received that from my mother nor my father, I had my first Reiki session done, and it was a remote session. It wasn't even a live session, an in-person session. It was over the phone. Or actually, I don't even think we actually spoke on the phone. She just told me where we were beginning, and I just went into meditative state. And after she was done, she called me and she told me everything that she had felt and seen and everything. And then her instructions were, take a shower, clear, sage your home, and rest. Drink a lot of water and rest. Well, took the shower, and I broke down a lot of healing was happening in the shower, just crying and stuff, thinking about stuff that I hadn't thought about. Didn't occur to me. Things were just occurring to me that I didn't know, and I was just weeping. Got out of the shower, and I wanted to wash my face separately because I like my cleaning regimen for my face. And I'm playing meditation music the whole time, so it's, nice smells going on, as sweet and comforting as it can be when you're going through all these things, is you have to be very tender with yourself. And I was washing my face, you guys, and I took my time and I really allowed myself to feel my hands on my face, and I just began to weep. And I took the warm washcloth and I just cradled my head, the side of my face in the towel, and I just cried. And I felt like I was the mother and the child at the same time. I was comforting myself, being the mother and the child at the same time. It was amazing, the two energies that were there helping me heal that. And last night when I was doing this, I was reminded of that nurturing feeling when I was being my best self. I shouldn't point to my head because it's not in here, it's in my heart, my solar plexus. Being in alignment, when I merge with what I envision my future self to be, my highest, best version of myself, I have an image of what that is. And when I merge with her, myself, I become her. I become, and I'm kind of learning, I'm kind of finding it to be like your alter ego, like really merging into your alter ego, but it's really you still. But I don't want to get too far into the weeds with that because it's truly you. It's not somebody else. It's not some kind of character you've made up. This is who you truly are, who your soul is. And merging with that person was my mentor, me as my own mentor, as my higher self, as the best version of myself, talking to the now me, to the me that's growing into that. And so it was kind of like that same, dual energy there. The current me merging with the who I'm becoming. So I have a lot to share, and I know this video is already 42 minutes in, but I want to encourage you. You're not going crazy. You really feel what you feel. And when the feelings come up, allow yourself to feel them. Don't hold it back anymore. There's no need to hold it back anymore. You don't need to be strong for anybody else. You need to be strong for you. And the way to do that is to cry that out and to get that emotion out. That's being strong for you. So, more to come. Hopefully I won't have my lazy eye be front and center, but doesn't matter what it look like. What matters is the message. What matters is that you see and hear my heart. I love you guys. Keep at it. We got this. We're winning. The light is winning. Be kind to yourself today. Do something loving for yourself. And be kind to one another. Be a compassionate being today. I love you guys.